Good morning, it's Lindsay. It's really early. Pretty early. It's August 21st, 2024. It's Wednesday morning and I I woke up this morning thinking that, it's a good time for me to do a video talking about a few things which in my situation of being a targeted individual for so long I wanted to talk about this. So here's a few things have happened. There's always weird things happening every day in my life, and but let me talk about what happened. What happened yesterday? Okay, or a couple days ago. Yesterday, a couple days ago. I don't remember exactly. I have been applying for part-time jobs or jobs, and of course, the last job that I had was working as cleaning houses for this company called Homoglow, which was basically a front company where I was being utilized and exploited, and basically it was just a scam of a company. I would have to say. I don't know how else to describe that, but I think that that's what that place was, and So, it's very difficult when you're a targeted person and then going through all these personal things like the whole fucking probate stuff, which it's meant to drain your energy, make you occupied with things that you have to deal with, which they want to make sure that they draw it out along so that it never ends, and you're constantly having to deal with shit where you start to neglect yourself and your things because you're so overwhelmed. And in my case, I've talked about this before. It's all my so-called family, immediate family, are the main perpetrators of my abuse because there's money involved in assets and inheritance and property. And so, because they're angry with me, and I don't give a fucking shit what they think, because honestly, I don't. It's all about controlling my money, controlling my life, controlling everything about me, and then degrading me. Like, oh, well, look, she can't take care of herself, or she can't do this, or she can't do that. They'll come up with any and every kind of asinine excuse so as to discredit me, making it look like I don't know how to control myself, which is completely erroneous because obviously I do. I pay my bills, I pay the electricity bills, I pay my phone bill, I go to the gym. I try to take pretty decent care of myself. But they have to try to, because they want to make sure that as a targeted person, in my case, that I'm mentally ill and schizophrenic and all this shit that they can use against me so that I don't have any control over my life or my assets. And it's all about asset control, and it's all about using your appearance, your weaknesses, so that they can use that as an excuse to justify for their ill behavior towards you, okay? And I know all this shit like the back of my hand, and the way I describe it might sound a little bit weird, like it doesn't make sense, because maybe I'm not using the proper terminology for it from a psychological perspective, but I do know what I'm talking about. And when it comes to people who are being abused, societal narcissism and scapegoating, it is usually something to do with your family or inheritance, property, assets, things like that. Okay, this is just reality, and you'll find this stuff out whenever somebody dies, and then whenever you're in a court thing, okay, it all starts to unravel. And with me, it's been years of the same kinds of patterns where first it was when my grandparents died on my dad's side, then it was when my dad died, and then all these like different wills and trusts and whatnot, and then IRA accounts. And now I'm not trying to brag about anything because it's none of anybody's business how much any of that stuff was or whatever. I'm just trying to make a point that as a targeted individual in whatever city I live in, which I've been in, Houston is where I grew up. I've lived in Los Angeles. I lived in Austin, Texas, where I went to college. Lived in New Mexico, Las Cruces. And now I live in San Antonio, Texas. So anywhere you go, the same thing is going to start up again. It's not like you can just go relocate and think that, it's not going to follow you around, because I can assure you that anywhere you go, anywhere you move, if you're trying to run away from this and thinking that it's all going to just disappear, no, you're gonna find that wherever you live, wherever you go, the same thing will start up eventually again with these people, because they find out what's going on is that there's some kind of a dossier or a file about you that's being, basically given to people in the community who are the community fusion center gang stalkers, informants, and they know all about you. They know everything about you, so that's why they gossip about you. You'll find that, like, in the neighborhood, people treat you really weird, or they give you dirty looks. They don't really want to talk to you, and they're just really all standoffish sometimes. Or it could be the complete contrary, polar opposite, where they are very nice, and to the point that it's like almost fabricated, fake. And you're like, why are people, you see the way they behave towards you. And it's like, because, okay, and in my case, and I'm very honest about all this stuff, and the thing with me is I'm so transparent, because I don't feel like I have anything to hide, okay? I don't live a secret life. I don't live like one of these extravagant lifestyles where I travel the world, where I go, to expensive restaurants and shopping trips, like to really fancy places. No, I live a pretty modest, frugalish kind of lifestyle, So the main thing that they're interested in is your spending habits. What does she do on a daily basis? Where does she shop? What does she buy at the store? Who does she talk to? They're always following me around. Like, they try to be real inconspicuous about their blatant stalking of myself, but it's right there in plain view. And you'd have to be blind as a fucking bat, pardon the analogy, or the silly, yeah, but you'd have to be pretty much a fool to not, if you're a targeted individual, to not see it, what's going on around you with the various people on their phones, following you around in the parking lot, wherever, because it happens to me every single day. And the more I make videos, then they amp it up, okay? I will have people, for example, okay, and if the main thing also, what they want is for you to not be in any kind of relationship. If you're in any kind of a romantic, intimate, dating relationship or partner, whatever, they're going to do their best to try to destroy that as well, because they want to make sure that the targeted person is isolated, that you are, that you have very little resources at your, that they want to make sure that you stay. They want you to be a certain. They really, it's like character assassination. They don't want you to have a life, a personality, any kind of opinion. And if you're outspoken, such as myself, and you go against the fucking grain, the mainstream propaganda media, which I fucking hate. I don't own a TV to this day. I hate television. I hate propaganda. And they use that against you. Well, what's wrong with you? You don't watch TV? You don't like acting? You don't like people who are... No, I don't. Okay, I'm not an actor. I'm not a scripted person. I actually get real agitated watching most movies, because I just don't fucking... I like real. I like documentaries. I like the real thing. I'm not really into fucking acting, even though I could, I'm just saying, it's like I'm not into scripted shit, people acting. And everywhere I go, especially lately, it's like people are clearly scripted, saying stuff, following me around the store or whatever, and it's very, very much mimicking something that I had just talked about the day before, for example, on the phone, or things that are very parallel to my own life, where it's obviously scripted stalking, harassment by total strangers. It happened to me yesterday at the store. And here's something, let me give you an example of what happened yesterday in the past couple of days. Now it's revenge time, because I've pissed off a few of the narcissistic individuals who I've been involved with, and one in particular who's trying to, upset because you call them out for their whatever, and they feel You know what I mean? They know what they're doing. They know who they are, and they're going to make sure that they don't want you to fucking call them out for their stuff because, oh, it's going to tarnish their image, right? Because it's all about image. Notice, and this is obvious, that whenever you're in this program of when you're being targeted, it's all about them wanting to see, it's all about public image. Like, I'm not a fucking actor. I'm not a politician. I'm not trying to be a celebrity or anything. But they want to make sure that the public tarnishes your image. Like, whoever is the main ringleader of the gang stalking, whether it be a fucking drug dealer, a drug king, drug lord, drug dealer, or whatever, and all their fucking flying monkeys, if they're part of that human trafficking, prostitution ring, drug shit, and you know it, and you know who they are, you can kind of figure this shit out, and they don't want you to know that, but you figure things out with time. They're going to make sure that, it's because obviously with them, it's all about image, right? They've got to make sure that in the public eye, they perceive themselves as some kind of a Adonis, like they're perfect. They don't have any flaws. And you, on the other hand, if you're supposed to be with them or seen with them, you sure as the fuck better look perfect because they don't want to be seen with you in public. And I know now what's going on in my situation. I figured it out. I mean, I didn't have to, it's like you start to really figure out these people, what their motives are, why they're doing this to you, why they're targeting you. And it's about control. It's about using punitive psychiatry, even though most of them they're not formally trained in any kind of psychology. But this kind of stuff is like they use a lot of street smarts because a lot of them grew up in situations where they either lived on the streets, they were homeless, or they don't necessarily have a formal education in a university, but that doesn't mean they don't have the street smarts, right? I happen to have formal education in the university, but that doesn't mean a fucking thing. That doesn't measure your intelligence by any means. It just means it shows that if a person completed a university degree and if you have a diploma, what that shows is that you have discipline. A lot of times, if you're able to go to class, sit in class, take exams, show up, do your papers, write your essays or whatever, then it shows that you have discipline. And yeah, been there, done that throughout. This is not about credentials, even though I've got a few behind my name. I'm not, the point is that a person's credentials, formal academic credentials, do not and cannot measure your overall intelligence. Just like an IQ test is not a way to define your intelligence. And everybody knows that. The people have different levels of maturity and intelligence that cannot be measured through one of those tests, whatever, that they try to do. You have personality types, you have intelligence. What's your personality type? I happen to be something called, according to the Carl Jung psychological test, I have something called INTP is mine. INTP. And I've tested the same thing twice with that same psychological personality test, INTP. And I forget exactly what that acronym stands for, but that's my alleged personality type. We all do. If you do a test, you can find out what your personality type is. But so anyway, I'm jumping from topic. But what happened the other day, or what's happened lately, is that I've been applying for jobs. A few weeks ago, I applied for various random jobs on Craigslist or Indeed. And then, but at the same time, I'm going through this stuff. I'm supposed to go to Kerrville on Friday. First, I was supposed to go last week. They canceled it to meet with something about closing the property or signing something for this title for the property of my deceased father, Alan Baldwin in Kerrville. I call him my father. I mean, they say he's my uncle, but I'm quite sure he's my father. Like I said before, I just call him my father. I believe in my heart of hearts, and my soul tells me that man is my biological father. Allen Baldwin, who died in February of 2023. So that's still ongoing in the Kerr County probate court. But yeah, so he's my father. I'll just say he's my father. Might not be. I don't have 100% proof that he is or isn't, but I feel that he, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. It could be that Ben Baldwin, his brother, is my father. It could be. I don't know. It's very possible. But something tells me that there's something they don't want me to know. Something tells me that that man probably had some kind of an insurance policy that I was a beneficiary of, or that maybe he had a handwritten will, like a holographic will or something, maybe something in a safety deposit box. There's definitely stuff that I'm not being told because they want to withhold. What's it again? It's about money. It's about controlling of assets when it comes to this. So I was supposed to go to Kerrville last week to meet with this title man and my attorney and sign some things, but that got canceled at the last minute. And so now I'm supposed to go again to Kerrville this Friday to meet with the attorney and this title man to sign some papers or something like that. Okay, so yeah, that for me, I'm sorry, I'm not one of these people. I'm a home. I admit that I have a sense of adventure, but I have a regimen. I'm very regimented. I have a schedule that I stick to, because if I don't stick to a certain regimen in my life, I become so anxious and depressed that it's not good. I start having bad thoughts. I can get suicide. It can get bad if I don't follow my normal kind of routine of going to the gym every morning and doing that for my self-care and my mental and emotional well-being. And that's something I have to do to take care of myself. And I've been doing this for the past, 25, 26 years, a whole gym thing. And I get a lot of fucking shit from my so-called family and others about that. Why do you go to the gym? You need to stop going to the gym. It's like everybody is telling me to don't do that. Excuse me? Fuck you. It's like me telling them, don't go to your job. Don't do this. Don't do anything that you like to do. Who the fuck am I to tell people what to do, right? But that's what happens when you are a victim, survivor. I'm a survivor of narcissistic, societal narcissism, scapegoating abuse by your family and others. It's all about one fucking control and power over you, control over your assets, control over your relationships and everything. What you buy, everything. Excuse me, I didn't fucking sign a contract to say that anybody has control over my body and my rights, of my intellectual rights. But it's about them wanting to steal your identity, your intellectual rights, and turn you in to what they want the public to see you as, because it becomes a public thing now. It's not even about you anymore. It's about, look, how is she presenting herself to the public? And that's what it becomes. It's like, I'm not a fucking celebrity. I'm not on stage performing music or doing anything, an actor. So why is that such a big deal for these people? You know what I mean? But they clearly have an agenda for you but they don't want you to know what it is, right? It's like with me, a lot of it's like political based. Like they see me as somebody who's either an influencer, outspoken, who can influence people with my experience and my own perception of the government and the because I'm very opinionated about things, and so therefore, she's gonna rattle a few cages and piss off people. Hey, what else is new? It's called being a dissident, a political dissident, and an activist, which I am naturally. I have been like this my entire life. It's in my DNA or blood to be a fighter. You can't help who you are, DNA. Whoever the fuck I really am, my DNA, I'm not 100% sure if I'm being lied to or not. But I know that in my family lineage, on my dad's side, look, there's a bunch of military fighters, like fucking Civil War Military, okay? Military, both sides of the family, military. So they fought, they fight, they die, they shed blood, and I can't help who I am. If that's in fact my biological blood, which who fucking knows for sure if I'm being lied to. Nonetheless, it's in your DNA. If you're a fighter, whatever, an artist, and I've got a lot of artistic quality talents as well. Yes, I know how to, I'm very good at, I've been told not to toot my own horn or brag, but I know that I have talents, artistically speaking, and I don't know where that comes from, but I do have that as well. So I have a lot of things that I'm able to do, but I have to focus so much of my fucking energy on the gang stalking, the smear campaigns, the constant wanting to control everything about me, to turn me into what they want me to be, so that there's a public perception of myself. And it's like it has nothing to do with who I really am as an individual. I am so anti-government. Do you know what I'm an anarchist. An anarchist. I hate the government. I hate political social communism, which is all that the fucking government, it's about social control. It's about social control. It's called communism. That's what democracy is. It's social communism. Whether you fucking like that or not, capitalism, communism, that's what we live under. That's what this is about. It's about you. For example, I tried to have I wanted to start my own business. I even went so far as to get an LLC for my own business, which I was calling Lindsay's Clean Sweep. And what was that company going to be? It was basically going to be a consultant agency, a company for myself as a consultant. That's it. I just wanted to help people and consult with people, kind of therapy. Not because I'm not a licensed psychiatrist or psychologist, but I'm kind of a counselor, and I have other credentials like chemical dependency and all that shit. And I've studied a lot of psychology, and I do have a degree in Spanish. But I figured, okay, I'm going to be a consultant. I've got the intelligence. I've got enough credentials. I'm going to be a consultant. I'm going to start my own company and maybe try to make some money with that. I didn't have any help. I don't have a mentor. I didn't spend thousands of dollars paying somebody to script anything. But so I tried that, and of course I ended up not registering on time or paying some kind of fee. So of course, let me prove to you that in the mail I got yesterday, and by the way, like sometimes my hip starts to fucking hurt really bad, and right now I'm limping because I'm so sore. God, sometimes with this fucking metal thing in my hip, whoa. Really hurts right now. Sorry. God, sorry. Okay, so this is something. This is what I got in the mail yesterday. It says, notice of intent to forfeit right to transact business. Okay, and it says Lindsay's Clean Sweep. You see, LLC. So anyway, I tried, and I do continue to try as much as I can to figure out ways to make money to support myself. I do not want to be dependent on the government. I do not want to be dependent on any family because I do not trust them. I want to be as self-sufficient as possible, but with myself, I have found that no matter what I do over the years, if I try to start a business, if I try to sell my art online with a website, if I get a job, it's always something that they seem to want to prevent myself from making any kind of income to survive. And we all need money, obviously, to fucking live, groceries. And I'm a vegetarian. I don't go out and spend a bunch of fucking money on steaks and shit like that because I don't even eat meat. I'm a vegan, a vegetarian. I don't eat that shit. I don't eat an animal. I don't eat anything with a face. So I get harassed about that, being a vegetarian. And that's never gonna, I've been that way my entire life. I fucking can't stand the thought of eating meat. It's disgusting to me. Gross. Seafood, meat. It's gross. You think what you want, but that's who I am. And I'm not going to change how I am for someone else. Ever. When it comes to that. So they want to pick on me about that. They want to pick on me about if I try to start a business. So I get this shit in the mail about atención, it's in Spanish on the front and back. Who's that from? It says something about Glenn Hager, Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts. So obviously, I'm registered with the state of Texas with my LLC, and I'm in trouble with that. So it's about the IR. So I've got all these fucking people on my case, everything. And I haven't made any money with this. I guess they think that I'm like, oh, she's making a bunch of money that she's trying to keep from the IRS. Oh, really? I haven't made a fucking penny with any of this. Nothing. I don't have a website. I haven't made any money with Lindsay's clean sweep consulting services. Nothing. It's not a cleaning company, by the way, like you might think, well, clean sweep. No, it means, I thought maybe at first I was like, I was like, I want to have an investigation company, because I tried years ago to get involved with that Bobby White who recruited me with White Security years ago, because I really indeed wanted to be a private investigator and go into that kind of work because I found it fascinating. But the more I realized as I got older with all my own experience, all it is about cheating and infidelity and shit like that, and following people around to see if they're cheating. Basically, that's what that shit's about, I think. And it's like, I lose interest in that. My investigative mind works such that I am fascinated with accident investigation, morgue, cemeteries, the paranormal. I lean more towards that kind of thing, not about like, is so-and-so cheating on his wife or girl. I don't give a fuck about what you're doing in a fucking motel, fornicating and cheating on your wife, because everybody knows that adultery and infidelity it's so common now that most people do that. So it's like, why would I want to waste my time investigating that shit unless it's happening to me? Or unless somebody really is, and I'm good at doing that and finding out the truth for other people. But I'm not an investigator of a cheating spouse or whatever. It's not but I could probably be fucking good at doing that because of like I said, my own experience of being cheated on by narcissistic men. When speaking of which, when somebody's cheating on you, that when they're lying to you, if they say that they are not with anybody else, bullshit. You can figure out from their body language, their eye language, their patterns, when you're being lied to or if they're cheating on you, you'll figure that out for yourself without having to go fucking follow them around or get an investigator and pay somebody. No, I've never had to do that. I've thought about it before. I've thought about, should I do and by the way, before you let anybody in your home, you ought to do, my advice to you women out there who are vulnerable, because they take advantage of vulnerabilities and weaknesses in women especially, or people, men as well. You really, for your own safety, I would suggest and highly recommend that you do a thorough criminal investigation on this individual before you let them in your home, before you let them in your bed, whatever, before you get intimate with these individuals, these men on dating sites or whatever. It doesn't even matter where you meet them. It could be at the grocery store, at the gym. Do a background, do an investigation, do a criminal investigation on them. A background check. Find out who the fuck they really are. Find out if they're really married. Find out if they're really divorced. Find these things out. If they're very secretive about where they live and all this stuff and they're weird, they act shady, chances are 9 out of 10 times that they're hiding something about who they are. You might want to find out because, maybe they're a fucking drug dealer. Maybe they're a pimp. Maybe they've spent time in prison or jail. Maybe they are a serial killer. Maybe they have a domestic violence charge. You don't know. Maybe they're a pedophile. How are you going to know these things unless you actually do some digging around? And it's for your own protection. And myself, I'm guilty of not doing that enough. And therefore, you want it like with me, it's like, something's off. You can feel it. You sense it. Your intuition is like kicking in, but you want to see it. You're so curious. It's like you want to see who is this person and what's going to happen because you're so you know what I mean? That's how I am. It's like I get so enthralled with the whole thing that it becomes like a mystery that I want to unravel, and I get myself right in the middle of it, knowing that, wait, the fuck, who is this? Who the fuck am I dealing? You know, you could be sleeping with the fucking enemy. They might be a fucking paid assassin. This is real, okay? You don't know who they are. Or who the fuck is this person? An agent of the government? Are they an assassin? Are they you don't even know, because they're fucking lying to you, usually. And I've had this happen to me several times, so therefore I speak with my own experience. I'm not just speaking from a script. I'm speaking from my own experience, which is valid, but I can validate that. But so this fucking shit with this came in the mail yesterday, and here's another thing that happened yesterday. A couple days ago, since they're always trying to shame you about body image and what you eat, every once in a while, fuck everybody, I got a donut at the store, a couple donuts at the fucking HEB. I ate one of them the other morning. I came home yesterday. I could go get it out of the trash can to prove that I'm not fucking making this shit up, and I think I will try to go find it. Well, no, I'm not, because it's in the trash can right now. Maybe I'll go look and see. Trust me, they're gonna fucking tease me about this all fucking day. They're gonna tease me about this, but I'm gonna prove to you what happened. I bought a couple donuts at a couple of them at HEB the other day, right? I ate one of them yesterday morning. I came home yesterday, and I wasn't gonna eat it. I just looked at it because I wanted to make sure it was still intact, because it's so hot in my house. It's like 100 and something degrees outside. And in the house, it's very hot as well. And things in the kitchen, whatever. I looked in the fucking donut. There's half a donut. The other one I ate. And now there's half of one. This is half of a donut. It's got half. It's half of the donut. And so somebody came into my house, ate half the fucking donut, left the other half in I keep it in my little cupboard thing. And then the fucking door was open. I noticed that my back door... This back door right there, leading in the kitchen, I'll go ahead and meander over there to that area of the kitchen. The fucking door, my door, this door was open. It was open. It was just open like that. And this door, my screen door, was also completely... You can't really see it. It's too dark, but I have a screen door back there. The door was open. I didn't leave the door open. I never leave the door open when I leave in the mornings. I know that. I'm not, I double check every time I leave. So this door was open. The screen door, back door is open. So somebody came into the fucking house, came into the fucking microwave where I keep things stored here in my little pantry, and ate half the fucking donut, or removed half of the donut and put it back. This is meant to fucking fuck with me. And then, by the way, okay, here's more of my proof and testimony about this shit. You can't make this stuff up, right? And so then I had told you I had been applying for other jobs lately on Craigslist and whatnot. And one of the jobs that I applied for a couple weeks ago was something at a jail here in San Antonio. Something about food service, some kind of job where you're dealing with working at the prison, something about whatever, and I applied for that job, and then all of a sudden yesterday, okay, I get an email. It all happens at once. All this shit, it comes piling down at once. Whenever you're already overwhelmed, they have to fucking make sure that they flood you with things that you need to make a decision about. So the fucking, I get an email of the job I applied for. I'm like, I kind of had forgotten all about it. So I was like, okay, it's been a while. And then I hear back yesterday, get an email, or the day before, about it. And the man said to call him, and I did. I called him and he told me that I needed to, his name is James something, right? And he works with, it's called Rico, Select Rico something. They contract for the prison. They do food services, food for the prisoners here in Bexar County Jail. I thought that's interesting, whatever. I have a lot of background in criminal justice and spent time in the fucking, whatever. I was like, okay, cool. It's a job. Maybe I want a part-time job. I'm looking for a part-time job. I'd like to work from home, but but it's like going to the fucking gym's a job as well, but I don't get paid. So I hear back from the man the other day, and he's asking me, and I talked to him on the phone, and we had a little chat, and he said for me to send my driver's license and my social security card and all that stuff, photos of it, to his email, which I did. And then, he said, because they have to do a background check, a criminal background check. And I said, okay. So then I hear back already, and I did that yesterday, or I did it the same day I talked to him. And then yesterday I already heard back from them saying they want to interview me. They're going to try to interview me this Friday, the same day I'm supposed to go to Kerrville. And I'm not going to, that's too much for 1 week. So I was able to reschedule the interview. So I have an interview, and guess where? It's at the sheriff. It has to do. It's the sheriff's. It's here. God, I give so much fucking information out. That's my problem. Is that I reveal so much of my fucking information, and obviously they target me for that because I fucking give so much of my own personal information. Inevitably, they're gonna fuck with me, right? The email that I got in response to that job was it's to nobody. It says, when you look at the heading of the email, which I'm looking at right now, it says it's addressed to it says nobody in the heading, nobody, and it's Identigo appointment confirmation. Texas Bexar County Sheriff's Office contractors. Okay. Texas Bexar County Sheriff's contractors, and so that's where the actual interview is. At some kind of a something contractors for Bexar County, and then I get so much junk and spam mail. It's just overwhelming, the shit that I get in them fucking email. I tell you, and this is all part, like a lot of this has to do with my being punished, handled, whatever. Because whenever you're involved with any kind of job or affiliation with people who work for the government or FBI or one of these alphabet agencies, the sheriff's department, police, because they don't know who I am as a targeted person and whatever, that they start to, they'll fuck with you, and they send handlers out. Like, you'll know that if you're in a relationship, if that person's a handler or not, working for the police as a gang stalker, handler, perpetrator, right? So all this stuff that happens to me, it's no coincidence, it's no accident. And then they'll call you, like, my handler, I call him my handler, because that's what he is, he's a fucking handler. It's obvious. He calls me the other day, I'm in it's all this whole devaluation, discard shit of the relationship, whatever you want to call it, since it's not, and he's asking me a bunch of questions, like interrogating me, trying to be formal, but he's at his job, supposedly, right? And then he sends me a picture without my asking. He sends me a picture. He's like, oh, look, there's a woman walking a Doberman Pinscher here in the mall. It's like, and he sends me a photo of a Hispanic people walking a fucking Doberman Pinscher dog in the mall right by where he works at the shoe department at Saks Fifth Avenue. Like, right? It's like, why are you sending me that? Like, a lot of times I'll talk to him, and I'm bringing this up because I was telling him about, the reason I'm talking about that is because I was telling him, he was asking me, what am I doing? How are you doing? And I told him, it's like they want you to talk. It's like they're fucking interrogating you / interviewing you, like handling you, okay, to gather information, because they have to know every little fucking thing you're doing, because they work for the police or sheriffs or whatever the fuck it is, right? Yeah, duh, I can't figure that, I'm too stupid, I'm crazy. No. You know what they're doing to you. I know what they're doing to me. It's all about handling me, controlling me, mocking me, exploiting me, degrading me, critiquing me about what I eat. Yeah, duh, hello. No, I don't know that. It's all about how you look. It's all about your fucking image. And are you ugly? And, this fucking shit revolves around appearance and how the public perceive you. It's societal narcissism, gang stalking. And it's very prevalent. It's very narcissistic. And I know years of experience with this shit, all they fucking care about is what you look like to the public, and it's ridiculous. And I'm not, like I said, I've talked about that already in the video, but that's what it's about. It's about, all they really fucking care about at the end of the day is about that, and they project a lot of their own insecurities about appearance, about body image, about weight, about appearance. Hey, how much do you, it's focused so much on your body and how much you weigh. What? I weigh, maybe 110, whatever the fuck. Okay, yeah. I get on the scale not every fucking day because that's not healthy. I can self-regulate and monitor myself. It's another fucking business, right? But that's how they all focus on shit like that. It's like, well, what if I weigh 110? What if I weigh 105 between there? Big fucking deal. What they want you to weigh 80 pounds and look like a little fucking strung out heroin chick? So that they can use you as look, we can use her as a snitch or a double agent working for the police as a drug dealer. You know that all these fucking people are connected, and they want the women to look like strung out prostitute drug whores that are on drugs so that they can take advantage of you sexually and they use women as agents and informants, obviously, especially prostitutes. And drug dealers. I'm not any of the above, but I know this shit because I've seen it. I know exactly what the fuck their modus operandi of these motherfuckers. It's all shame-based, body control, humiliation, sex. And a lot of these motherfuckers who do the gang stalking and your handlers, they're fucking sex perverts, addicts, cocaine addicts, alcoholics, perverts. Do some investigation on these motherfuckers. Find out since they think they're so perfect. No. Do your due diligence and find out who they are, and shove it back in their face. Since they seem to think that they are in control of you, and they want to be in control. No. Do your own homework on them first as well, and don't bow down to them and ass kiss these motherfuckers if they're just picking on you. Because look at them, and they're not all that either. They might think that they are, but a lot of them harbor a lot of deep insecurities themselves because of trauma. Maybe leftover childhood trauma or bad relationships where they, and they're taking it out on you. They're repeating what they did with their last girlfriend or ever, and you're the victim, and I'm pissed off at her, and I'm going to take it out on you, the white bitch, because my last girlfriend was a Caucasian blonde, a really tall Caucasian, but blonde with a perfect body, and look at you, you're a Caucasian, but you're a shorter girl, and it's all about body image and body and sex. It's very perverted. But I assure you that's how it is with these men who are involved with the government or maybe whatever job they have where they're making money. If they have money, they're going to use the money to try to control you. Or they're going to bait you, to breadcrumb you. Look, I know all about this stuff, okay? All about it. So these are tactics that they use mostly to target women. And they'll say things like, they act like they don't give a shit about your appearance. Bullshit. They'll say that, but you know that that's all they care about. They're going to constantly be comparing you to other women, fucking criticizing you about your hair, all this kind of shit, because that's all they really care about, because it's all about a public image with these people. That's why they don't want to take you out in public, because, oh yeah, you're not good enough to be seen with me in public. Look at me. Yeah, that's how they are. A lot of these narcissistic, sociopathic, sex-addicted, drug-addicted men who hide the fact that they have a fucking criminal background, a criminal past, or maybe they're a fucking drug dealer or fucking drug addict, maybe cocaine, whatever, who fucking knows, but you never know. But they lie. Everything comes out of their mouths is a fucking lie, basically, to get you to talk, to get you to fucking parrot all of your real life experiences so that they can use it at a vulnerable time in your life against you. Okay? This is how these motherfuckers think and how they do. I know. It's common sense. So anyway, that's what happened the other day at the fucking donut, the job shit. They want me to go interview at the sheriff's contract or whatever. And then they want me to pay $10 for them to do a background. I have to pay $10 or something. They're charging me. Now they're trying to charge me $10 for their background check that they did, their criminal background check. Okay, fine. I'll go to the interview and see what happens. I don't have anything to hide. I just had a fucking Social Security thing on Zoom the other day for a mental evaluation because trying to get on fucking disability because I'm fucking crazy. I've got physical problems as well, but I have a doctor for that I'm going to go see, a regular physician. And yeah, I have problems with my hips sometimes and pain, but I don't go around limping and feeling sorry for myself about it. I still get my ass to the fucking gym, just as I can't run 12 miles outside every fucking day, like I used to every fucking day at Memorial Park in Houston, and go to the gym on top of that for 3 hours every fucking day. I can't do that anymore. I'm a 49-year-old woman. Okay, I do have a metal fucking implant in my right hip. It does cause me a lot of anxiety and stress and pain from time to time. But I try to conceal it as best I can, and I try to just get on with myself. It can be painful at times, but it's not. And I have other issues, but I manage it okay without fucking Western allopathic fucking shit. I don't take that stuff unless I absolutely have to be on antibiotics or something. I avoid allopathic medicine at all costs. I prefer to go the more non-allopathic route, homeopathic, or maybe Ayurveda, whatever. Herbs, supplements. I don't do the fucking allopathic medicine thing, and so that gets used against me as well. And that's all I'm going to talk about today. I decided to do this video at the last minute this morning because it's on my mind right now. And you'll notice another thing before I close, that when you're being targeted and they're doing all this stuff, you're going to start getting some random phone calls from people who you knew from a couple years ago, and they're, you and this person might have a lot of similarities, but you don't really know, you've never met them in person, but at the same time, they're also working for the handler. They're gathering information, because with my fucking phone, even though I have a Mint Mobile phone service now, I'm not even using fucking Q-Link government shit. I'm paying my own fucking phone bills. I'm not using which I should be on government help assistance, but they're monitoring my phone. They listen to my phone calls. There's fucking hidden cameras in this house, I'm sure, that my mother put. I don't know where they are, but there's surveillance. I'm aware of that. You can call me delusional or crazy, but I'm well aware that I'm under some kind of fucking constant surveillance and neighborhood watch shit. It's obvious, because I can feel it. I can sense it. That's all for today.